I'll start with numbers, the IMF always does. And you'll have to guess what it is before the end of this sequence. 4-3. And this is not about football. Try to guess. Robin, I have the privilege to ask the first question. Margaret was just saying that everything will be digitalized. Mm-hmm. You are the champion of search engines, have been for 18 years, leading Baidu as a co-founder. Mm-hmm. And you've invested massively in artificial intelligence. Yeah. You have more than 40,000 employees around the world in various places, of which 15,000 computer scientists.
Right.
Can you describe for us what the world will be with artificial intelligence playing a key role?
Yeah, it's going to be huge, the impact of artificial intelligence on the society. I think we are lucky when Baidu started about 18 years ago. We just entered, the world just entered the age of the internet. So at that time, China had less than 10 million internet users. Today,
how many? 10
million. Yeah, that's the beginning of 2000. And today we have more than 800 million. So we enjoyed a tremendous ride of the internet age. But I would say if the internet is the appetizer, then AI is the main course. The impact of AI will be much larger than the internet. So over the past couple of decades, every one of us experienced the change of the society because of the internet, but we will experience much larger change over the next few decades because of AI. Especially as the technology advances, so computers can now understand humans better, from voice recognition, from computer vision, from natural language understanding, and from a lot of data generated by the users and the internet companies. So we will see a lot of changes. The internet changed a lot of our daily life, but did not have much impact on the to-be industries, so to speak. And I think AI will change that too. AI will change both the to-C businesses, like our everyday life, but it will also change manufacturing, energy, education, healthcare, lots of things from industry to industry. There are lots of things we probably cannot imagine today that will be changed by AI.
When you talk to your 15,000 scientists at the moment, in which area do you ask them to focus?
It's pretty much all AI, but AI is a huge area, right? I mentioned the speech recognition, computer vision, natural language understanding. These are the fundamental technologies of AI, and you have all kinds of applications in areas like autonomous driving, smart speakers at home. Even search itself, I think, is an AI problem. If you think about it, you type in a query in human language, and the computers try to guess what you mean and then come up with results. So it's fundamentally using computer to understand human. So it's an AI problem.
I don't know if you've read that book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, by Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah, I heard about it.
He says that artificial intelligence is one thing, but it's not enough. It has to be coupled with biotech innovations. Do you agree with that?
Well, in the future, maybe, but over the past, it was not the case. A lot of people trying to figure out how the human brain works, then try to mimic that using computers. That's not how AI works today. AI basically is still using the strengths of computers to try to mimic human, not using the biological structure to understand human. Yeah. But so I would like to ask you on the impact of technology. We all know that technology has a lot of impact on society, on the markets. But how about the financial system? Since you took office about 7 years ago, has the world's financial system changed due to technology? And is there any impact to you and to IMF?
Well, I'll give you a very, very basic example. At the International Monetary Fund, 7 years ago when I started as managing director, the word fintech was not in current use in the institution. Now, We have a lot of economists and financial experts actually working on fintech and trying to identify what are the benefits and the threats as a result of fintech. You know, you can think of the use of
so just
mobile.
threats, not opportunities?
Well, it's both. No, it has. Let me say a word about opportunities. When you talk about mobile banking, you look at countries like Peru, like Kenya, like the Zambia, like many other sub-Saharan African countries where people, and women in particular, did not have access to financing, did not have the ability to transact, and were at threat of being robbed, of being abused. And mobile banking, coupled with other financial technology innovations, helped them, gave up the ability to be empowered, to be economic players. That's just one aspect in developing societies of fintech. On the other hand, you know, you have the development of some interesting cryptocurrencies at the margin of the financial system, where clearly supervision, regulations have to play a role in order to maintain stability and to keep at bay the dark transactions that happen and that are transacted using some of those cryptocurrencies. So it has huge benefits, but it has its risks as well. So technologies generally outside the financial sectors are expected to improve productivity, which is something that, you know, all societies, policymakers are in search of in order to improve the living standards and the income of people. But it's associated with threats. And I was going to ask you that, actually.
Yeah.
There are lots of numbers floating around. You know, how many millions of jobs will be under threats, will be disappearing as a result of artificial intelligence. There are other numbers which are saying, no, it's actually a net plus.
Yeah.
And there will be many more jobs created than jobs destroyed as a result.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about a finding from the IMF once you've addressed that question. So,
all right,
over to you.
Yeah, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always optimistic. But when I look at the changes, I always think about how can we make things better because of this change. And I agree with you that a lot of jobs could be replaced by machine in the future, but a lot more jobs will be created by technology advancement, especially
So you think it's
AI.
a net positive?
I think so, although at this time, it's hard for me or for anyone to imagine what exact opportunities, new job opportunities will be created. But I can give you a few examples that I can think of. First is the so-called labeling problem. In AI, when we try to train the computers to learn to behave like a human, computers need a lot of data, a lot of the so-called labeled data, meaning that you need to have the question and answer pairs, and it's usually done by human.
It's the tagging of data that we sometimes struggle with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You need a lot of that data in order for the computers to learn. That will create a lot of jobs for people who are in the labeling industry. And as the computer gets smarter and smarter, we will probably need a lot more labeling. This is not like replacing human jobs, but enhancing humans' capabilities. In healthcare, there's a term called CDSS. I think it's a clinical decision support system. It's not trying to replace doctors. It's trying to help the doctors to make better decisions, right? These are the examples that AI is helping the mankind, but not replacing human labors. And you all, as the efficiency or productivity continue to improve, I think people don't need to work long hours like we are today. Then they have more time to enjoy, to consume more content. And content...
That's assuming they have an income.
Yeah. They will make more with less working hours, but content are generally created by humans. They are very, it requires a lot of creativity, and computers are not good at that yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
All right. Let me tell you about the study that we're just about to release, actually, which deals with the impact of those new technologies. And we don't distinguish between AI versus biotech versus robotization.
Right.
But essentially, the finding is that, and we extrapolated from 30 OECD countries to the rest of the world.
Right.
And the conclusion was that quite a lot of jobs will be significantly, materially affected.
Yeah.
When we look at those 30 countries, it will be about 26 million jobs that will actually probably disappear.
Mm-hmm.
The second findings, which I thought was interesting, is that because it applies essentially to those tasks that are repetitive,
Mm-hmm.
and because there are more women doing those jobs,
Right.
women are likely to be more affected than men by the impact of artificial intelligence on the labor market. Do you think that's true?
It could be true, but like I said, that's just one side of the coin. There's another side that labeling is. You can also say it's kind of repetitive. You need humans
but you need to apply
label.
judgment.
Yeah. Yes,
No?
relatively simple judgment. It's not that hard. For example, if you try to teach the computer to drive, it's not that hard. Most people, when they grow up, they can learn how to drive. But it's actually very, very hard for computers to learn how to drive. Although, companies like Baidu and quite a few other companies and Ford too are working on autonomous driving, and we are quite a few years away from truly, self-driving. It's still, I would say, highly autonomous vehicles, not really completely, free from drivers. So we will use computer to enhance the human activities.
You don't want to replace us.
Right? No. There's.
Okay.
Yeah,
Am I allowed one more question? I'm
Yeah.
expected to really speed. I want to ask you one.
Uh-huh.
Because you have 40,000 employees around the world, many of whom are in China.
Mm-hmm.
Are you enjoying a regime, an environment, a framework that enables you to research, develop anything you want?
Pretty much, yes. I think.
Too much.
Yeah, we have lots of engineers, and China is a big market. There are lots of people, and we have like hundreds of millions of users use our services every day, and a lot of data is generated. We can use data to learn how to improve our services. So we do have a lot of opportunities to innovate. But that being said, there are constraints like how do you protect privacy, and how do you make sure that the technology does not go out of control, that's do bad things to the mankind. There are things that we need to worry about, but I do see more opportunities than threats.
Okay. All right. The use of control is nonetheless part of your environment.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to turn, I'm just assuming that I should stop now. I can't see much signs, but, so 4-3, has anybody found out? So this morning, so far, you've heard 4 really top women and 3 top men. Big change underway. Thank you.